Hello Sam, so this is a different camera that I'm filming on, so I don't know how the sound quality is going to be. I think the picture quality will be okay, but I don't really know about the sound. So Sam, on Tuesday I talked about being yourself. You may notice, up in the title, this video is titled Being Yourself Part 2. That's because later I'm going to talk a little bit more about some things that I didn't really talk about in my last video that I think need to be covered. But first I want to cover a few other things that you said in your past videos. Sam, I'm happy about the Halloween makeup. I'm so excited that you have some so that I'll be able to use. I'm really excited about that, so whenever you can find it is great. I actually have read your blog. I really like your blog. I don't normally like blogs. I don't read a lot of blogs. I don't even read Alex's blog or Charlie's blog. I really like your blog because it's poems. And I don't like hearing about this is what happened in my day-to-day blogs. I like reading your poems because they're poems and it's more interesting than this is what happened in my day-to-day. I'm super disappointed that they're not teaching cursive in school anymore, Sam, but I kind of expected that it was like dying out. I didn't really learn cursive past the 5th grade, so it wasn't really enforced enough. So now I don't really know a lot about cursive, actually. That's why I'm so bad at it, I think. But just being the realist that I am, I feel like they should be teaching it in schools, because don't you have to sign checks in cursive? Aren't you required to sign checks in cursive? But people probably don't write checks a lot anymore. It's probably more debit cards than anything now, so. Sam, I think we should do the carrot cake recipe for the vegan, non-vegan recipe you sent me for our cooking show. Also, with the weekend quickly approaching, I think we should converse about when we're going to meet to do that. Also, with the Final Fantasy song, if you were to send me a link to the chords and maybe a link to the YouTube video with a recording of the song, that would be really helpful, and I would be willing to learn it and maybe put it as a background to one of my videos, maybe. Also, thanks for the creative writing suggestions. They were great suggestions, and I'll definitely be writing one of them in the future. Maybe not for this one. Maybe I'll just take a song that I've already written for this one, since I've kind of been procrastinating on it. Alright, Sam, so this next part is why the video is entitled Being Yourself Part 2. I really hope that the title is up here, because otherwise I'm just pointing to random place. So I have these two friends, and for the purposes of this video, those two friends are going to remain anonymous. Now my two friends are in a relationship thing. I don't really know what they're calling themselves in the relationship. I just know that they're going to Crystal Ball together. So I found out from one of them today that they were literally fighting about the same thing that I talked about in my video, like hours before I posted it on the internet. So I just wanted to say that while I stick by what I said about that you're not 100% yourself around everyone if you're covering things, you can't force someone to open up to you. They need to do it on their own. They need to be allowed to do it themselves. And people won't always open up to you first. Sometimes you need to open up to them a little bit before they feel comfortable talking to you. And even then, you can't make them tell you anything personal if they don't feel comfortable talking to you about it. If you try to get them to tell you personal things before they're ready to tell you, it could make them become untrusting of you and make them not want to talk to you about anything personal ever. So it's just easier to let them open up to you when they're ready. And by any means, this doesn't just go for one of my two friends or for one of them specifically at all. This goes for everyone when I say you need to let people open up to you themselves. Instead of trying to make them tell you personal things, you need to let them come to you so that they'll feel more comfortable talking to you. So, I'll see you tomorrow, Sam, and thank you for the creative writing suggestions. I'm very excited to write about some of those things. So I'm going to show you. Why am I showing you your text? I liked this text. Thank you for this text.